friendship. Now, something I've realized is that when you enter a journey of self-improvement, when you start working on yourself and making yourself a better person, you begin to realize that it's kind of a lonely journey. A lot of people don't have the same ambition and desires that you have, and a lot of people don't understand that, and so it can be difficult to make friends. And of course, many people in self-improvement have all heard the same. You've averaged the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so what happens a lot of times is you begin to push people away or distance yourself from them because you realize that a lot of people aren't on the same path as you. A lot of people are lazy. A lot of people are degenerate. A lot of people aren't on self-improvement, aren't putting any effort into making themselves a better version of themselves. And so a lot of times it can be good for you to distance yourself from them, but you still run into the problem of we as human beings, we're naturally drawn to each other. We're naturally supposed to live in some kind of group, some kind of community. And so when you remove yourself from any kind of group or community, this is not a great experience. It's not a great feeling because it's hardwired into our brains to literally do the opposite of that. So not only can it be very difficult to remove yourself from a community, but when you're away from other people, it can be very lonely and a very stressful situation, an undesirable one. So how can you, as a person who is on self-improvement, trying to improve yourself, not be so lonely? The truth is, I know a lot of people who are in any kind of self-improvement community or self-improvement space really struggle with this, is you basically have 2 options. Option A is try to get your friends to improve themselves. Try to get your friends to become more disciplined. And option B is to stop hanging out with those people. Because if you're hanging out with people who are just video game nerds, who don't do anything productive, spend all day sleeping, then they watch some anime, scroll on TikTok, play some video games with people they don't really like, go to bed. If those are the people that you're spending your time with, you're going to end up like those people. So how can you help these people? Well, the truth is you have to change your environment. We're gonna start with making new friends. All right, we're gonna start with ditching the losers and making new ones. It all depends on your environment. Where you're spending most of your time is where you're gonna meet people, right? And so if you're spending most of your time, because think about this, right? The kind of friends you have is not a reflection of your friends. It's a reflection of you, right? So if you're spending most of your time at the gym and you haven't made any friends at the gym, then you need to improve your people skills. You need to be more courageous in reaching out to people and be more charismatic. Try to make friends in the places that you spend most of your time. Because if you're a disciplined guy, if you're on self-improvement, you're going to spend most of your time in places where other people are on self-improvement, right? And so if you want to make friends with disciplined people, talk to people in the gym, join a sports team at your school if you're still in school, or a martial arts club or whatever. Find people there. And I know there's a new trend on self-improvement where basically a lot of people are saying that the only way you can really make friends on self-improvement is by joining an online community. I've done this, right? This can be incredibly, incredibly powerful. But if you're anything like me where you're just kind of naturally skeptical of the internet because I've already had an issue where I've joined the community. I won't name the community because I don't want to make them look bad, because this is a very high quality community. It's just that there happened to be a person on this community that was trying to sell me things and trying to, trying to like pretend to be my friend, but it turns out it was just a guy trying to promote his business and just constantly selling me junk, not even really listening to what I had to say. I would literally tell this guy I'm on self-improvement. I don't really play video games or whatever. We chat a little bit, and then he started trying to sell me like a gaming YouTuber course or something. Like, I don't know. It was really strange. So if you want to go down that route, you can, right? It can be incredibly, incredibly powerful. I've met some great people on these platforms. It can be a challenge to meet up with these people because a lot of these people live in different countries than I do. But if that's the route you want to go down, then that's great. But the other route is meeting people in real life. If you're religious, talk to people at your church, make friends there. If you're in school, join a sports team or just speak to more people. People who are lonely, on self-improvement, right? It's not the problem of other people. You're just not looking in the right places. Because if you're on self-improvement trying to make yourself a better version of yourself, then part of doing that is improving your social skills naturally. And so why not put that knowledge to use? Learn about social skills. Read the book, How to Influence and Influence People. It's an incredibly powerful, incredibly good book, and has incredible knowledge. Learn social skills and then go speak to people. Make new friends that are on self-improvement. For me, I was incredibly lucky that one of the reasons I started self-improvement is because I was friends with people who were much more disciplined than I was. Now I've improved dramatically. And I'm actually pushing a lot of these people that were at one time much more disciplined than I was to be more disciplined and to work harder. That's how powerful making friends with people who are naturally more disciplined, naturally a little more masculine, naturally a little more assertive, naturally on self-improvement, that not only you improve, but they improve. Then we have the other option of trying to get your old friends on self-improvement. Now, I have very little experience with this. And if you've made this far in the video, then this is probably what you've been waiting for. And I'm really sorry because I'm no expert, right? And the truth is, I don't think anybody is, because everybody I've ever really spoken to who are on self-improvement, who have tried to get their friends on self-improvement, most of them say that it simply can't be done. And that's actually a tragedy, because I believe it can. I also believe that to do this is incredibly difficult and incredibly unlikely, but I do believe it is possible. The way you do this is don't tell them to do things. People who are naturally undisciplined, unmotivated, hate being told what to do. And so if you have friends and you care about people who are naturally unmotivated and undisciplined, don't tell them to do things. Don't tell them you need to go to the gym. Don't tell them you need to get on a better diet. Don't tell them to be on self-improvement. Instead, be the example with your actions. All you have to do, if your friends have a spark in them to be on self-improvement, because if you looked at me a few years ago, chances are that you probably wouldn't think that that spark was there, right? I was incredibly lazy. I was incredibly unmotivated. I was basically just a goon, right? I was the opposite of self-improvement. But a few years ago, I got on this path because I had that little spark inside of me and I was inspired by people to get on this path, right? So why don't you be the inspiration? Instead of telling people to do things, just be on self-improvement. Be motivated. You can tell them about what you're working on. You can tell them about the goals that you have. You can tell them about going to achieve those goals. as long as you're not braggy and boastful about it, they'll listen to you. If they're actually your friends, they'll listen to you and they'll think about you in a different light, and they'll think about it, right? They'll see, they'll see that perhaps you were overweight or perhaps you were very underweight, whatever your situation was. They'll see that you made great progress, and they'll be motivated to get on that path as well. I've been trying to do this for a while with some people, and it has been a challenge, but I do believe that there is hope, because I do believe that self-improvement is for everybody. Everybody deserves to be on self-improvement, and everybody should be on self-improvement. But this modern world has brainwashed so many people into believing that it's all baloney. Believing that actually being disciplined and pushing yourself to achieve goals isn't good for you, and that you should just rest and relax all the time and seek nothing but comfort. But if you're on self-improvement like I am, we know that that's not what the life is all about. We know that that's a joke. We know that that's just baloney that the media and the world has made to try to sell you more stuff to make you more comfortable. So that's all I got for today. God bless you, and stay wild.